Welcome back to Euro Football Daily, where today we're running through 10 clubs who need to spend big this summer. Let's go. 10. Manchester United. Currently sitting 6th in the Premier League and watching top 4 hopes fade, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has quite the task to steer Manchester United back to their glory days. With an underwhelming season coming to a close, the Red Devils need to rebuild to avoid being left behind by their rivals. They have spent huge amounts on players in recent seasons, laying down over £300 million and bringing in a measly £80 million in sales between 2016 and 2018. When you compare that with Liverpool, who funded their moves for Van Dijk and Alisson with the money made from Coutinho and have collected around £40 million from the sales of Solanke and Ings, it's clear United don't know how to navigate the market effectively. Even with young stars like Rashford and Martial, the current squad is the 8th oldest in the league and has been largely criticised for containing too much dead wood. Come June, fans can expect to see the back of Matteo Darmian, Juan Mata, Ander Herrera, Antonio Valencia and maybe even Alexis Sanchez, while Jadon Sancho and Aaron Wan-Bissaka are the prime candidates to rejuvenate the club's rusty right wing. 9. Tottenham. With Man United and Real Madrid both recently tying down managers to long-term contracts, it looks like Daniel Levy will be able to keep hold of his most valuable asset this summer. However, if he wants Mauricio Pochettino to stay at Spurs for years to come, his next venture into the transfer market will be crucial. Considering the club have not invested in any playing staff since buying Lucas Moura in January 2018, the Argentinian has done a tremendous job with the Lily-Whites, taking them to within touching distance of Liverpool and Manchester City midway through the 2018-19 campaign and taking them the furthest they've ever been in the Champions League. However, results in the Prem have dropped off since the new year, and persistent injuries to Harry Kane and Dele Alli have laid bare the deficiencies in the current squad. Furthermore, Toby Alderweireld is available for less than €30 million in the close season, with his defensive partner Jan Vertonghen also seeing his contract run out in 2020. Meaning that after the development of White Hart Lane, Spurs now need to think about rebuilding their defence, which is conceding at almost twice the rate it was 2 years ago. Add to that the need for a Moussa Dembele replacement, possibly in the form of Tanguy Ndombele or Adrien Rabiot, and you can guarantee it will be a busy summer for the club. They will have to raise funds through sales of their own though, with Aurier, Wanyama and Moura all rumoured to be exiting North London. 8. PSG. Boasting 2 of the world's best attackers in Neymar and Mbappe, PSG are set for a number of years out wide. However, their club record goalscorer Edinson Cavani is approaching the twilight of his career. The 32-year-old Uruguayan has scored 192 goals in all comps for the Parisians since joining in 2013 and is linked to join Atletico Madrid this summer. According to reports, PSG are willing to spend big on targets including Antoine Griezmann, Nicolas Pepe and Timo Werner. They also have issues at the back with ageing stars and lack of adequate options, with Dani Alves now deep into his 30s and the qualities of Juan Bernat and Layvin Kurzawa being called into question. The club has identified Alex Sandro as their ideal target, although that would still leave them needing more depth should either the Brazilian or Meunier get injured. Tuchel's men also have an issue between the sticks. Having added Gianluigi Buffon last summer on a free, what seemed like smart business has backfired. The Italians' mistakes against Manchester United in the Champions League proved costly as the French side were eliminated. With the former Juve man clearly past his best and a seeming lack of trust in Alfonso Areola, PSG are in need of a keeper. The club has identified Jan Oblak, however this would be a costly measure, with the Atletico keeper's release clause set at a reported €120 million. With stars like Rabiot leaving on a free and mainstays on the wrong side of 30, it appears that PSG are going to need to heavily invest in their project once again to launch a challenge on Europe. 7. Schalke. There's no getting around it, Schalke are just about surviving in the Bundesliga. At the time of writing, they are just 6 points clear of the relegation zone with 4 games remaining, and have won just 1 game at home since November. And while XG suggests they've been performing better than their results, they are still a long way off Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig, which is pretty shocking considering they finished 8 points ahead of BVB and 10 points ahead of Die Bullen in 2017-18. While Huub Stevens, who led the club to 2 DFB Pokals in the early 2000s, has taken the reins on a temporary basis after the sacking of Domenico Tedesco, he is set to leave the post in June, meaning it will be a summer of sweeping changes in Gelsenkirchen. And the club has a lot to make up for. In the last 2 years, they have lost a number of star players on frees, including Sead Kolasinac Max Meyer, Leon Goretzka, Joel Matip and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. In fact, since Leroy Sané left for Man City in 2016, the only Schalke sale to command a fee higher than €5 million was that of Thilo Kehrer to PSG. With Jurgen Klopp's assistant Željko Buvac top of the club's wish list to take the role of head coach, Schalke must change their recruitment strategy on the field. Last summer's acquisitions were among the worst in the league, with striker Mark Uth scoring just twice in 20 appearances, averaging a goal every 704 minutes. Meanwhile, the fact no one has more goal contributions than 31-year-old right-back Daniel Caligiuri's 7 is evidence they need new blood in attack. In the short term, they could do a lot worse than Max Kruse, who has contributed to 19 goals for Werder Bremen this term, and whose contract is due to run out in the summer. Whether finances will allow for more lavish outlays remains to be seen. 6. Monaco. Sitting 16th in Ligue 1, AS Monaco have had a tough campaign. Seeing 2 managerial changes and a massive downturn in squad quality, the club are in need of huge investment to reinvigorate their chances of competing next season. Despite making sound investments in the likes of Alexander Golovin and Benjamin Henriks, the club also recruited older stars in the way of Naldo and Cesc Fabregas. With Naldo having had a great spell at his previous club Schalke, he has only made 3 starts this campaign at the time of writing, and alongside Glick and Raggi, forms part of a backline all on the wrong side of 30. The club has traditionally been one that invests in youth. However, this season they have the 7th oldest squad in France. Meanwhile, Golovin has underperformed, only contributing to 4 goals all campaign, and although the Russian is only in his early 20s, Monaco will hope he finds form next season. With key stars in their squad ageing, Monaco will need to reinvigorate their ranks. Gelson Martins, who has contributed 4 goals in 11 games this season, has signed permanently. The French side have also identified Everton's on-loan winger Henry Onyekuru. Currently plying his trade for Galatasaray, he has had a hand in 14 goals in 24 games. It is clear that the former Ligue 1 champions have pinpointed what it is they need to improve for next campaign. Before we move on to our next candidates, if you are enjoying this video, why not hit the subscribe button right now and hit the notification bell too so you do not miss another EFD video. 5. Ajax. Known for producing some of Europe's best young talent, Ajax have once again bred a golden batch this season. Currently atop the Eredivisie and having made a big splash in the Champions League, the Dutch giants will have a hard time holding on to the current crop. With Frenkie de Jong having already been snatched up by Barcelona, all of Europe seemingly has eyes on the club's other stars, including Matthijs de Ligt, Hakim Ziyech and Donny van der Beek, just to name a few. Having had its stars hoovered up by Europe's big boys previously, the club are used to this, with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Davinson Sanchez and Luis Suarez all kickstarting their careers in Amsterdam. And despite their continued improvement in recent years, they have still struggled to knock PSV off their perch, having not won a single title in 4 years before 2018-19. With Ajax sticking to their ethos on youth, they have already signed highly touted youngster Razvan Marin and are looking to loan Martin Odegaard, who is the 2nd highest key passer in the Dutch league this season. The Amsterdam club have already earned €75 million from the sale of de Jong and are likely to have the much needed funds to rebuild the squad following some inevitable key departures come season's end. And judging by the success of investments like Tadic and Ziyech, fans can look forward to the next campaign with confidence. 4. Bayern Munich. Despite their recent upturn in form, Bayern have certainly struggled this season. Trailing to rivals Borussia Dortmund for large parts of the campaign and out of the Champions League in the last 16, it is clear that the German giants are in need of some fresh faces. With an average age of 27.4, Bayern currently possess the oldest squad in Germany. The core of Die Roten are all nearing or have surpassed the age of 30, and few of them have younger replacements. Manuel Neuer, who is struggling with injuries and form, has no natural heir, and the same can be said for Lewandowski and Müller, who are both 30 and 29 respectively. With the signings of Alphonso Davies and Luca Hernandez to accompany the likes of Tolisso, Goretzka, Gnabry and Coman, as well as links to Lille's Nicola Pepe and RB Leipzig's Timo Werner, it seems clear Bayern are thinking ahead. With a long time to go before the start of next season, who do you think Bayern need? Let us know in the comments below. 3. Borussia Dortmund. We've come to expect shrewd business in the transfer market from Borussia Dortmund over the years, and the last couple of windows have been no different. with the club snapping up Axel Witsel, Thomas Delaney and Paco Alcacer for a combined €60 million. For context, that's less than what they sold Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for in January 2018, when he was just a year and a half shy of his 30th birthday. All three of those signings have been key men in BVB's title push in 18-19, with Delaney contributing to 5 goals from central midfield, Witsel playing the most minutes for an outfield player, and Alcacer still averaging a strike every 60 minutes. However, if they want to continue to challenge Bayern's supremacy, they must strike while the iron's hot. And considering they've brought in €370 million from sales in the last 2 years alone, there is surely money to spend. Taking into account their expenditure, BVB have turned a €170 million profit in that time, and should Sancho be prized away this summer, they could be looking at another 100 mil. With Pulisic off to Chelsea, Favre will likely be in greater need of reinforcements in attack than in defence. Torgan Hazard would be a good place to start, while Hirving Lozano could probably be prized away from PSV after 2 years of service. 2. Inter Milan. The summer of 2018 was a busy one for Inter Milan. Having achieved Champions League qualification by the skin of their teeth, the Nerazzurri bolstered their squad considerably. They brought in Radja Nainggolan and Lautaro Martinez as marquee signings, captured Stefan de Vrij on a free, and signed Matteo Politano, Keita Balde, and Sime Schalke on loan. Strengthening in almost every area, this activity led some to talk up Inter as potential title challengers. 10 months on, and Spalletti's side are sitting more comfortably in the Serie A top 4, having not dropped out since September. But with 24 points separating them from Juventus, there is still a lot of work to be done. Furthermore, they are still over-reliant on Mauro Icardi, with the Argentinian striker contributing to nearly a third of their total output in front of goal. And with relations between the club and former captain seemingly at an all-time low, he could well be off in the summer. Meanwhile, other key players such as D'Ambrosio, Asamoah, Nainggolan and Perisic are all now in their 30s, and with an average squad age of nearly 29, Inter seriously need to buy young. If a long-term Perisic replacement is locked down and Martinez can step up to the plate as the club's chief goalscorer, they can surely challenge Napoli to be the best of the rest in Italy. 1. Real Madrid. Having endured one of their worst seasons in recent years, finishing trophyless, Real Madrid are in need of an overhaul. After paying for not replacing Cristiano Ronaldo, reports in Spain have claimed Zinedine Zidane has a €500 million war chest to rejuvenate his squad. Defensively, Los Merengues have struggled this season. Currently conceding 1.2 goals per 90, this is their worst defensive record in the last decade. And they have also lost a total of 15 games this campaign, also the highest total in the past 10 years. With Ramos, Marcelo and Navas all in their 30s, Madrid are in need of younger options at the back. And in front of goal, Real have not been at their usual prolific best. After going on a goal drought of over 400 minutes earlier this season, it is clear to see why they've faltered this campaign. Despite Benzema contributing over 30 goals and assists, he has not been able to stop them having their worst scoring season in the last decade. The 18-19 campaign has marked the first time in 10 years that Real have failed to average 2 goals per game. With Ronaldo gone and their core stars ageing, the club are looking to the likes of Eden Hazard and Paul Pogba to resurrect them as a force next season. And while there is no doubting the quality of those two, the club are sure to need more investment elsewhere to take them back to the pinnacle of Europe. So those were our 10 clubs who need to spend big this summer, but do you have any more suggestions? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do a part 2. If you enjoyed this, why not go and check out Stat Wars the Champions and Stat Wars the League? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.